So thank you, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I'm here to talk about InvestigatorAI. It's an application that is built to solve one of the most pressing challenges in financial institutions. And that challenge is what? How to conduct thorough fraud investigations faster, cheaper, and with fewer compliance risks. The mission is simple but bold. We're going to turn 6-hour manual workflows into 90-minute AI-assisted processes that leaves no compliance gaps. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to be working you through the problem, our solution, and the market opportunity, and why this application is uniquely positioned to transform this space. And then I'll show you a short live demo. Let's start with the problem. Fraud analysts are buried under manual, repetitive tasks. Investigating single suspicious transactions can take between 4 to 6 hours. Analysts must dig through multiple systems, cross-check outdated regulatory PDFs, calculate risks, and then finally write up a lengthy report, all while the clock is ticking. Now, this leads to two major risks: time to detection and compliance risks, where analysts are rushing to keep up. They miss critical details, resulting in incomplete documentation or outdated citations, and then fraudulent activities can fall through the cracks and continue for days while cases sit in the backlog. So the stakes are pretty high. Banks do face regulatory penalties that could exceed $10 million annually for anti-money laundering and other kinds of regulatory violations. Existing tools like generic AI, chatbots, or legacy AML software will not solve this problem. They either lack the compliance grade accuracy or the low latency and the broad research capabilities to do so. And the solution is InvestigatorAI. It is a multi-agent AI assistant built specifically for fraud investigations. Instead of asking a chatbot questions or spending hours manually piecing information together, analysts would just impute a flagged transaction into InvestigatorAI. So imagine a transaction that has been flagged as fraudulent or suspicious by a classifier model. InvestigatorAI adds some quick explainability and explanations to why that decision was made, or reclassified it in the transaction if the research suggests otherwise. Behind the scenes, the orchestrator coordinates 4 specialized agents: one for regulatory research, one for evidence collection, one for compliance checking, and one for report generation. The first 3 agents work in parallel to compile evidence, research, and verify regulatory and compliance requirements, and then produce an audit-ready investigation report, which is done by the 4th agent. What used to take up to 6 hours should now be taking 90 minutes or even less, and every step in this application is logged for compliance. So this isn't just automation, it's a reimagining of how investigations are done, one that ensures accuracy, consistency, and speed. The market opportunity for InvestigatorAI is massive. Mid-sized banks could spend over 1.5 million annually just on fraud investigations. Multiply that across 10,000 plus financial institutions worldwide, and you're looking at between 10 to 20 billion in compliance and fraud operations. And the urgency is growing, especially as knowledge and capabilities are increasing. Fraud losses would exceeded $485 billion globally in 2023, and regulators are increasing scrutiny on compliance programs. Banks and other financial institutions can't simply throw more people at the problem. They would need smarter, faster tools that reduce costs and risk exposure. And this is where InvestigatorAI fits. We sit at the intersection of AI transformation and the regulatory compliance, solving a problem that's both expensive as well as high risk. Now, this is what InvestigatorAI looks like from the analyst's perspective. One single dashboard with timelines, risk scores, regulatory citations, audit-ready reports, as against juggling multiple systems, switching context from here to there, and basically spending more time and labor doing this activity. It doesn't replace analysts, it only amplifies their productivity, enhancing their capabilities, allowing them to focus on judgment and critical thinking and more tactical and strategic work, while AI handles the repetitive work. The system outputs a professional report that is ready for regulatory review and will eventually be complete with audit trails. So how do we compare to the alternatives? Generic tools like GPT or Cloud won't offer compliance checks. They don't log investigations. They can't guarantee accuracy. And that is a regulatory nightmare. Traditional anti-money laundering software can detect suspicious activity, but it doesn't help with investigations. Now, it leaves the heavy lifting of this to analysts. Custom AI development could be expensive and slow with high maintenance overhead. And this is where InvestigatorAI combines the best of all worlds: AI-powered automation, regulatory integration, and production-ready auditability at a fraction of the cost. And the result is a huge cost reduction, close to 96% accuracy, and a complete audit trail. Now, this is what the architecture looks like. We use LangGraph to orchestrate specialized agents. Each agent has one role, and the AI is powered by GPT-4 for reasoning. Qdrant Cloud is for high-speed regulatory document retrieval, and every investigation is monitored and traced in LangSmith, giving us complete audit trails and performance dashboards. The user interface is a React TypeScript front end with elegant displays, and it's all currently deployed and hosted in the cloud. This architecture means InvestigatorAI isn't just a chatbot, it's a compliance-grade investigation engine purpose-built for production environments in finance. We're not just an idea, we are production ready. And I'll just switch over to do a short demo for this application. So this is how it looks like. This is pretty much deployed. The front end is in Vercel. And all the analyst needs to do is input transaction values into the Start New Investigation page and clicks Start Investigation. And the first three agents would work in parallel to gather specialized information. And agent number 4 will collate all that and generate a detailed investigation report. We have really good numbers with retrieval augmented generation assessments. Our RAG system has integrated over 3,000 regulatory document chunks and built full monitoring into LangSmith, ensuring that we're audit ready from day one. The document store itself can be automatically updated to keep the most recent regulatory policy and research base accessible. Research and evidence collection agents have search capabilities that allow them to retrieve information into their context from the Tavily API and archive library. And this is really great for institutions that have strict governance and data privacy policies. We can implement this application to privately hosted models, both in the cloud as private dedicated endpoints or on-prem as self-hosted models. We can also set up RAG systems for proprietary financial policy documents and combine this with publicly available data without leakages, both ways. And this is basically a proven system that works now, and it's all pretty much about scaling and deploying. And this is the final output of the transaction that was basically researched. The report generation agent gives us an executive summary and classifies the transaction based on its research. And then we also have the supporting agents basically giving us the supporting evidence right at the bottom here, which can all be downloaded or copied out into the clipboard, for further analysis. This application also has other capabilities for tool search, a quick start documentation, and there's a lot coming up where we are going to basically expand and improve upon the application. Back to the presentation. Talking about pricing and enterprise flexibility, we're looking at SaaS subscription basis, but for enterprises, we could provide full API integration with existing fraud systems, along with add-ons like enhanced compliance modules and analytics dashboards. Private endpoints and self-hosted model options are definitely on the table, and that's worth a second mention. And this approach ensures predictable recurring revenue while offering flexibility for customers at different scales. What's coming next? Immediately, we're going to be enhancing the audit and citation features where links to research sources are appended to the report. We're going to increase the research firepower with some deep research capabilities, and then we'll be integrating with real-time feeds and deploy ML models that could adapt based on investigation outcomes. And our focus is industry-wide. We're looking at basically collaboration, federated learning that would allow institutions to share fraud patterns anonymously, giving everyone a stronger defense without exposing private data. So long-term, in the future, we're looking at a future where routine compliance tasks will be fully automated, where analysts will have more time to focus on complex issues. So this is the moment to modernize fraud investigations, and we're looking for pilot partners amongst banks and credit unions. Thank you very much.